Wow. Jake, let's call this special meeting, Marion County Board of Supervisors to order.
Okay. Keisha Johnner, here. Mark Ramey,
Here.
Steve McCombs.
Here.
All right, I would entertain a motion to approve this special agenda.
Make motion to approve the special agenda. Second.
McCombs,
Aye.
Ramey,
Aye.
Johnner.
Aye.
Very good. On to business. This is the public hearing. We'll declare the public hearing open. And it's the proposed FY25 Marion County property tax levies. Jake, you want to walk us through
Sure.
what we've got in front of us? That'd be
Sure, we
Great.
can.
Do we have it to be able to post online?
Yeah,
Let me
so
see
go
it.
to the next slide, maybe. Okay, so this is a public hearing only, a special meeting. This over the years, you've had multiple public hearings for your budget processes. The Board of Supervisors, as you well know, in the county have been working on budget since the beginning of the year. With departments, had a full week of meetings with departments. That seems kind of like a long time ago. But you guys worked through that very diligently through all the processes and set some proposed tax levies and max tax dollars asked and things of that nature, expenses, all those things in your tentative FY25 budget. House File 718 that was passed by legislature last year made some changes in process. One of the processes is it moved some timelines up, especially for schools. So they had to do some things early. But what was made necessary or required to do from all jurisdictions is enter a maximum tax dollar ask and a maximum levy by the 15th of March. By the 20th of March, we had to send out notices. House File 718 letters or mailings is what we called to taxpayers around. And this was not just Marion County, the state. And then hold a special public hearing to receive any comments regarding the proposed tax ask and levies. So what you have before you today is the day for that. Then there will be a follow-up public hearing, notice in the paper, all those things, and the official approval of any budget at the next Board of Supervisor meeting to be concluded by April 30. Anything moving forward can be reduced, but it can't go higher than this. So what you have in front of you is the notice with the maximums. This is what you all worked through during that week of time. And then there was even a lower reduction to the debt service levy due to the transfer you guys conducted last week for the remaining Prairie Ridge bond money. So that reduced the debt levy by another 7 cents.
Mhm.
So this includes that money that the treasurer will hold on that $155,000 until next fiscal year.
So Jake, just a couple of questions so the public understands this. It's a lot of numbers.
Yep.
And you see the impacts of the different variables.
Yep.
From a levy standpoint for Marion County,
Yep.
taking last year to this year, where are we at?
Okay, so on the public notice in front of you, the current year column, which is the set of numbers to the left, that's your current year, FY24. So it's your total dollars tax ask, and this is all countywide levies of $10,839,391 with a levy of $5.830003. So that would be the levy that everybody in the county would pay in town or out of town, right?
Right.
If you just want to continue on the current year, just because we're showing it, the dollars asked in the rural area, so from the townships only, was $3,501,608 in the current year, with a rural levy of the maximum of $395 for a total levy of $8.78003. So that's what is on the current year taxes. Second half taxes were due last end of March. That's what we have been paying and doing now. The proposed,
Jake,
yep.
you said 8, is it 978?
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's 9.
Yeah. Just want to make
9.78.
sure.
I apologize.
No, you're good.
If it was 8, we'd be doing
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah, you really, and I apologize for that. I'll blame it on my bifocals, but
It's pretty tiny on these sheets. It's
not-
okay.
yeah. 9.78003 is current year total countywide. Okay, if you go to the far right column, the proposal that you guys worked through, the second line down is the total ask of 10,782,295 for a levy of 5.53292. So as you can see, it's less than last year. That is a result of a couple different things. One is the House File 718 that limited growth.
Right.
So Marion County did experience after, so this would be 1/1/23 valuations.
Right.
Marion County did experience a 5% growth in valuations, and that's after applying rollbacks. And rollbacks is another whole conversation. Rollbacks are what the state determines the jurisdictions are allowed to tax. So with the reduction in rollbacks, reduction from the jurisdiction's perspective, and also the limitation of growth, we had a 5% growth. House File 718 reduced that for Marion County down to 3%. So a maximum 3% growth on the taxable valuations. They accomplished that by reducing levies. So Marion, would you go to the next slide? So this is the culmination of the results of that, your budgets that you have tentatively, and then the reduction. So House File 718, due to the 5% growth reduced to 3, reduced your general fund levy from $3.56 to 3.43137. Okay, so still with the valuation growth, there's still a little bit of growth there for the county. I think it was approximately $200,000 new tax dollars for the general fund from that, but it is a reduction in the levy. You were not allowed to use it at the 3.5, and it reduced the amount of tax ask that you guys could have, or that the county could have, I should say, right? If you want to go back to the slide, we'll do the overall before we kind of hear too, I guess. But from the notice, the rural levy had less than the rural valuation taxable had, I should jump ahead. I apologize. Skip the next line down on the countywide levy. The countywide levy is 5.53292, which as you can see is quite a reduction from 5.8 to 5.53292.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And that's a resulting of the general fund levy going down, and also it is beneficial this year. There was a grant for the VA demolition that took all of the principal and interest payment for that bond issue for this year, and also the Prairie Ridge money, and also budgeting in some TIF collections from the Prairie Ridge area. So we'll show on the next slide that what the debt service has gone down for at least this year. So from 5.83 to 5.53 countywide for everybody in town or out of town. The next section down is for rurals or townships. So it's 3.95 again, for a total countywide levy, 9.48292. Did I say that right?
Yes, you did.
Okay, so as you can see, it's a reduction from 9.78 to 9.48. So it's about 30 cents.
Yeah.
Reduction. For and the ask there is up only 50,000 in the rural area.
So the impacts of the reduction, Jake, just for the public, then we've got impacts from state legislative action,
Yep.
which is about 7 cents. roughly.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then the rest of it is what the board took action on to reduce the levy rate in other areas of the
yep.
budget.
Taking advantage of the grant and the not increasing budget anymore. If you want to go to if it's all right with you
Yeah.
guys, we'll
Yeah.
go to the next page. This is just historical. I know we generally look at this during budget process, and you guys have seen this
Right.
forever. But this just kind of shows it as a breakdown by the levy. I thought you might like to see that.
Yep.
So this is the public notice has the totals, and this is the breakdown of the levies that you guys access. So you can see where the reductions are. The general supplemental, you guys tentatively have left the same. And you also know that fund balance is decreasing. It's another year you guys have decided to let that go. We still have plenty of funds, but this budget uses some of that potentially uses some of that fund balance. It has a full health insurance increase and some different things that you may not use overall.
Right.
But and debt service is a drop from 32 cents down to 10 cents, and we talked about some of those. So will it always be 10 cents? Not necessarily.
Right.
The Prairie Ridge one might stay lower, continue to go down if TIF increment comes in. The Atkins one is online now. If that TIF starts coming in, that could help reduce that, and the VA as well. This VA demolition grant will take almost all of next year's principal and interest payment as well. And then, there's houses being built out there, so maybe some TIF increment will start coming in.
So,
But that's, the debt service is not guaranteed to be 10 cents next year.
right. So what we just need to make sure everybody understands, it's a pretty significant drop in the debt service, which is great. It brings the aggregate down. But that's the result of grant funding being applied, the excess that we had for
One
Prairie
time.
Ridge for one time.
Yep.
Which is good, gives time for those properties to come online and then accumulate some tax revenue. So over time, there could be an increase, but it will be offset by tax revenues coming from those properties.
If those, if the developments, if all three of those developments continue to move forward, I think the intent or the hope is that the tax increment financing will offset this debt service.
Right. And then next year, though, there will be some grant money applied as well to the debt service.
Yep.
Yeah.
For the VA one. For the
Good.
VA one.
Good. Directionally, it's good. The 395 on the rural SUP, maybe just explain why it's 395 and why it's been
Yep.
395 for a long time.
Because it's the maximum allowed. It's state set forever. For as long as I've been here, it's been $3.95 that's been allowed. Just like the general fund has been $3.50 forever. This is the first time that it's, I guess the max is still 350, but by the new House File 718, our new max is 3.43137. That may change next year as well. It may decrease if we have taxable valuation growth. That actually may go lower. It is still considered the maximum allowed for our county. And that's important because it allows that general supplemental levy.
Right.
And that general supplemental levy is key for benefits, and insurances are the most uses for the county.
Okay, good.
So that one, that's one of the main funds that you have, that the county has flexibility in changing.
Right.
Annually.
Okay. This is, Jake, anything else?
What do we, I put just a couple more slides. I didn't know if you'd want to see or not. This is the overall total budget
Can
proposed.
we make that bigger?
My cutting and pasting is limited.
Just
This
for-
will be used again. You'll see this in 2 weeks as well. Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
What I wanted to show here was this is the overall with those levies again. Same levies as what we just had. Look at you. And that top
There you go.
portion. Thank you.
Perfect.
This is actually the state's calculation reducing. Everybody in the state had to use this. But this is the calculation to reduce to maintain the 3% growth. So you can see we actually had 5.05% taxable growth, and that is after all rollbacks are applied. And then the reduction down to 3. So this is just a notice. This will be published in the paper again this coming week. We have and you'll be seeing this again in 2 weeks.
Those are the max allowed by state, by the
Yeah,
change in law.
yeah. And
Right.
so on the top portion, you can see that we had 5.05, which we had to reduce. On the rural growth, this is not necessarily a good trend when you're working on budget. We only had a 2.13% growth, so it's less than 3, so we didn't have to
Right, there's
reduce
no
anything.
No reduction.
And that's kind of the new standard right now. So you can see rural valuations decreased, either decreased or very, very slightly increased at all. And then when you take a reduction in levy or maintaining the levy, that should be a pretty level tax bill. from the
So-
county's perspective.
So for the rural, Jake, though, that is before rollbacks are factored in
This is after.
or after. So could the rollback number then impact that?
Yes, it would.
So
If
it
they
could
move it
keep
up or
that
down.
growth, it could keep that growth flat.
Yeah, yep. You apply the rollback first. So last year rural was 91%, and this year it's 71%. So you apply that first, then you still see how much, then it's how much growth is there from
Right.
there.
Okay,
Because you have to compare taxable to taxable.
okay, very good. Jake, anything else you want to?
And there was one more sheet. I don't even know. Sorry.
No.
Since yesterday.
Thank you for blowing that up.
Yep.
man. Appreciate that.
Oh, I know what it is. Yeah, if you just want to show the last one, this again, we've already talked about this. But the next, this is the summary of the total budget as well. This is available and will be for next week as well. And then this is the breakdown of the debt service levy, the reduction that we've already talked about. So just wanted to put that on there. Okay,
Very good. Very good.
so that's my
Any-
summary.
Yeah, anything else?
Nope.
All right. Well, this is the public hearing portion or public hearing for this. So are there any comments from the public? Renee, you had a typewritten one, so we need to at least read that into the record.
Wrong meeting, Adam.
Wrong meeting? Got 10 minutes. All right. Okay. Sorry. You have one. Okay, so is that the?
That's the first one.
That's
so
the
go down
first
where
one.
they said college.
Let me see if I can do this without. Check. And who is this from? So this is from Bernie Nesbitt. And I would like to voice my opposition comment to any tax increase by Marion County. Your desired increase does not take into account the lack of increase in my pay in order to support a higher tax burden. Additionally, I am sure that the majority, parenthetically, if not all taxpayers in Marion County have not received additional pay increases to support a higher tax burden either. Any additional tax burden will negatively impact me and others in our county and should not be allowed to pass. If necessary for my opinion to be included in your board meeting for this vote, please add my comment to your agenda. I ask that you email me a list of the roll call votes by all board members on this tax increase matter once taken, or provide a link where it is available for viewing. Bernie Nesbitt, 800 Main Street, Harvey, Iowa. Thank you for your comment. Are there any other public comments? And there won't be a vote on this. This is just a public hearing, folks, so there is no vote today. Are there any other public comments on what Jake presented? I am seeing none. Therefore, is there a motion to close the public hearing?
Make motion to close the public hearing.
Second,
Johnner,
Aye.
McCombs,
aye.
Ramey.
Aye, very good. Public hearing is closed. And is there a motion to adjourn?
Make motion to adjourn.
Second,
McCombs,
aye.
Ramey,
Aye.
Johnner.
Aye.
All right, we are adjourned. Thank you.